to the candidates and the crowd. We have Siobhan Pusterhoff, who is our office coordinator. She's in the front row there. And we have our president, Heather Norris, and one of our directors, Darren Strongman, who is also here. We'd also like to send a thank you to Northumberland 89.7 FM. Victor is here representing the radio station. They are recording all of the words from the candidates and will be playing them over the next 2 weeks before elections close on October 22nd. We'd also like to say thank you to Tyler. He's a grade 10 tech student here at Port Hope High School. He's the guy that's making the microphones work. And he's the guy who will get to cut the candidates off as soon as he sees the stop sign. So he has a very important job tonight. Thank you, Tyler, for coming. We also have, we also have David Barton here. He is going to make a video available of the event, as well as the responses to the 5 questions that were posed to each candidate on his porthopepolitics.ca page. It really is, if you follow the election 2018 tag, it has all of the information from candidates. He's been working very hard at gathering it with no political agenda of his own. He doesn't endorse one candidate over another. It really is just a bevy of information so you can be informed voters, and our chamber stuff will also be added to that page. Just a couple of facility things. If you're looking for washrooms, they're right at the bottom of the stairs going up to the bleachers and stands up top if you need to use the facilities. We've also posted the questions to the answers to the questions we asked on each of the candidates' tables and out in the hallway on the board. If you want to review them at a later date, because it is a lot of reading, they will be posted to our own Facebook site, the Port Hope Chamber Facebook, and to David's Port Hope Politics page. I am not the moderator of tonight's event. I am the timer, and I just ask for a little forgiveness on timing. It has been a turkey-filled weekend, and we all sometimes need a little bit of a nap. So if we lapse a little bit, a couple of seconds either way, please be forgiving of us as we do that job. I would also like to introduce Robert Washburn. Some of you are familiar with Robert if you've lived in the community for a long period of time. Robert is a well-known local journalist and a professor at Royalist, and he has volunteered his time tonight to help us by moderating this all-candidates meeting. So I turn the microphone over to Robert.
Thank you very much. Welcome to the Port Hope Chamber of Commerce Candidates Evening. This is a hybrid event whose format is a bit different than most of you are accustomed. In order to benefit from it, I would ask you to give me your attention as I explain how tonight is going to work. The evening is divided into 2 parts, a formal part and an informal opportunity. The first is a question and answer session with the candidates. This is the formal portion. Each candidate will have an opportunity to introduce themselves and present their platforms, principles, or objectives. The mayoral candidates will have 3 minutes, councillors will have 2 minutes. The order is simply alphabetical by last name. Once this is complete, we will move into a series of 5 questions drafted by the organizers. Since this is a Chamber of Commerce event, these questions were developed with its membership in mind. Each candidate will receive the questions in advance and was asked to return them. The answers are posted in the hallway if you want to go see them all at once, or they're on each of the individual candidates' tables. Please feel free to read them for your own information. Based on those responses, councillors will have 1 question of clarification that was created by the organizers for tonight. I will be asking those questions in the order they were submitted to me. The mayoral candidates will have 2 questions. Each person will have 2 minutes to respond to those questions. The organizers have decided the school board trustees will not be involved at this time. I urge all candidates to watch the timer seated there. Please raise your sign. Can you all see the person? Good. The yellow card means halfway. The stop sign means cut off. Please respect the timer and myself. There are a lot of speakers and we have a limited time. We wish to be fair to all by keeping within the time constraints and we want to be on schedule tonight. This portion of the evening will be over at 8 p.m. Then we move on to the second portion of our evening, and this part involves you. There are a series of tables provided for all the candidates, including the school board trustees. Please feel free to speak to the candidates and find out what you need to know to cast your vote. Now, before we begin our formal part this evening, I have two candidates who were unable to join us. The organizers have asked me to give you the following information. Lori Carr is unable to attend as she's out of the country. Her answers have been provided on the posters, and she does have supporters available that can speak with interested voters about her platform and beliefs. Her platform states, a proven leader and doer. She has a strong financial background and co-owns several companies including Katz Media and The Social. She's a long-time volunteer, past chair of the Heritage Business Improvement Area, Downtown Revitalization Economic Development Task Force, and a Civic Award recipient for community service. Vicky Mink is unable to attend. She has also submitted answers to the questions and has volunteers present as well. Her platform states she grew up on a farm in the Durham region, is a rural resident in Port Hope for more than 6 years. She has spent time in Port Hope visiting family, volunteering, and participating in community events for 15 years. As a world traveler of 56 countries, she chooses Port Hope as home. I hope that helps everyone. So, let's get down to business. We begin with opening statements from the candidates. Councillors will have 2 minutes. Mayoral candidates, you have 3. Mr. Terry Hickey.
Before I begin, I'm just going to have a test of this microphone in terms of how close it needs to be for the candidates. Can you hear me out there? No, because that doesn't work. How's this? Okay, we'll lean right into it. You ready? All right. Thank you, Robert. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here. Over the past several weeks, I have walked throughout our community, and one thing has been absolutely clear. The people of Port Hope want new leadership. Your neighbors are looking for change. They know that staying the course is not an option. And keeping the status quo is only good for the few people who can afford it. We've let the past 4 years slip by us. So the question is very clear. Are we voting for complacency, or will we support a strong vision for the future? The role of mayor requires a substantial commitment. I did not make the decision to run as mayor without a thought, and not without reflecting upon the concerns of all of your elected council members, some staff, and some residents. This council, as a group, and under the direction of Deputy Mayor Greg Burns, were forced to address several issues at an intervention with the mayor in May of 2017. We sat together and questioned leadership, personal vacation time, and many other concerns. Ladies and gentlemen, this role requires a deep commitment, and we've just not seen it. I can and will deliver the leadership this community deserves. I bring a strong record as a leader to Port Hope. In my time in council, I have demonstrated a positive approach to bringing people together to solve issues. I lead by example. I show up for work every single day. We need a mayor who does not shy away from taking on big issues or making difficult decisions. We all love Port Hope. It's our small town feel, our agricultural heritage. But without growth, it's all at risk. This isn't fear-mongering, this is simple truth. We're at grave risk of losing care facilities in our community, losing jobs, losing our identity. Opportunities are coming east. Let's not allow them to continue to pass us by in favor of Cobourg or the county or the countless other communities looking to grow. Port Hope needs a mayor who can finally bring together the interests of our rural and our urban neighbors. To be successful, we must work together as one community, stronger and more confident. We must create infrastructure to support our economic and social growth. Our community needs employment opportunities for our young people, so they'll stay here and raise their families. We must resolve our rural high-speed internet issues. And we must be laser-focused on pursuing successful environmental management. As your next mayor, I will actively work to bring economic, cultural, and social growth opportunities. We must embrace change and seize opportunities to move forward together. Ladies and gentlemen, this election is asking you to make a choice between a legacy of questionable leadership that has failed to meet our needs or choosing a brighter tomorrow, one that will work with you.
Thank you very much.
To create Port Hope.
I'm Bob Sanderson. My platform is working together to keep Port Hope. It means something special to you regardless of whether your family was here 200 years or has just moved here. Basically, Port Hope is and has been an agricultural community with a traditional heritage downtown. We have the best of both worlds. We promote and maintain family values and principles. People help people, and we embrace our heritage and culture. That is Port Hope. Let's not get steamrolled into being just another sprawling development. 4 years ago, we were a community coping with disruption and unrest, and now we are calm. Over the last 4 years, we've delivered on every promise and more. The Entech Rem incineration proposal was stopped. We have a commitment from Met Buildings. We have GO Train come to Bowmanville. Our administration is totally restructured to work more efficiently as a team and without a CAO first, taking up approximately $1.2 million over the next 4 years. Council and committee of the whole meetings are now combined to be every other week, saving resources and staff time. Council chambers have been modified, bringing council and our directors closer to the public. Our strategic plan was developed in public engagement, and we've increased our tax base in the business park that was empty is now 100% committed. The rebate on vacant buildings has been removed to ensure fair taxing and encourage occupancy, and now some of our empty buildings and derelict buildings are being fixed and repaired and occupied. We acquired motive debt in 2018, added to our reserves, and recovered more than $1 million in back taxes. We're investing in our 3 fire stations to bring them up to good standards and to ensure the health and safety of our firefighters. The Canton building has undergone extensive renovations to accommodate the rural library, and this will allow for added programs in the future. The maintenance and repair of our rural roads benefit from a 300% budget increase, and $450,000 being spent this year alone. This is important. The Rural LLRW Investment Fund of $10 million is totally intact and second in perpetuity, thanks to a very contested legal battle, and the invested income will continue to be used in deferring taxes to rural citizens. And I'll be bringing forward a bylaw to make that firm. The PHI project is finally underway, materials are being moved to the storage area, and multiple projects are currently underway, and the list goes on. But there is more to do. With only 2 incumbents running for re-election, we will have a majority of new councillors, and they deserve the opportunity to have the support of an experienced mayor. I am committed to working with them, and I say with them, to achieve our goals. I'm a veterinarian. I have corporate experience and background in business. I have the skills, the experience, and track record, proven track record, to support.
Thank you, Mr. Sanders.
First of all, I'd like to say there's too many tall people in the council. Thank you for coming. My name is Les Andrews. I'm running for re-election as councillor in Ward 1. I've chosen not to talk about myself tonight. Rather, I'd like to talk about what you should expect out of your future council. Each term of council produces a unique set of challenges and issues to be dealt with. These issues are not necessarily more difficult to deal with than issues from past councils. They are only different. The challenge for this upcoming council include the PHAI cleanup and its impact, the long-term care situation at 65 Ward Street, growth and the type of growth we allow so not to impact the quality of life we enjoy, and affordable housing, amongst many, many others. The mayor and each councillor, to the large extent, each have 1 vote. So to get anything done, you're going to need to be collaborative. Set aside personal agendas, opinions, and do what is best for the people and our community. Knowing and doing. Knowing what to do is not enough. We must actually do it. Everybody wants to ice the cake, but everybody knows it's the making and the baking that produces the product. I am a baker. If we all get behind affordable housing, which seems to be an almost insurmountable topic right now, we can make it happen. But it's going to take both social and business acumen to get the job done. I wish all candidates good luck in the upcoming election. Thank you.
Thanks very much. My name is Todd Attridge, and I recently moved to Port Hope with my husband, Steve. Since moving here, we've been shown a level of kindness, support, and inclusion that we haven't seen anywhere else. In getting to know people better, we've learned how passionate, creative, and involved everyone is. This incredible reception is the reason why I chose to run for council. I want to be able to help with its success. So what do I bring to council? Well, I currently own a consulting company that specializes in helping brands like McDonald's, Pepsi, Swiss Chalet develop their leaders and bring their strategies to life. I do this by teaching leaders how to listen to their people, to address their concerns, and to create action plans that actually work. I believe my skills are going to be useful on council because I will ensure that our action plans actually work. I believe in finding win-win solutions. I believe that our differences make us stronger, not weaker. I believe in teamwork and that we're better together than we are apart. I believe great communities think of the needs of everyone, not just themselves. So what does this mean over the next 4 years? It means I'll work hard to establish affordable housing so we have places for people to live, thrive, and grow. It means that I'll look for modern solutions to expanding public transportation, education, healthcare, and youth engagement initiatives so we can work locally, spend more time with friends and family, and live well. It means I'll be an advocate for all citizens, not just those in Ward 1 or Ward 2. It means I'll help our local businesses so they can grow, attract a skilled workforce, bring shoppers and vibrancy to our streets, and give them a reason to stay. And it means I'll work for our farmers and agricultural producers to improve their infrastructure, protect their interests, and promote local consumption. I look forward to being a part of the next chapter of Port Hope's story and recognize that together we are Port Hope.
Hi everyone. Like so many of us up here, the thing that I love about Port Hope is its people. So many Port Hopers are filled with an optimism and an unwavering belief that this is a town on the rise. I feel it too. I want to be part of building our future, and a future that looks forward. To do that, we need a strong vision, and that means helping everyone to know where we are going together. This requires laying things out so that they are clear and so that any person can follow them. Before coming to Port Hope, I completed a PhD in behavioral neuroscience, which taught me a lot about how people work. I now work at the University of Ontario Institute of Technology as the Strategic Planning Officer. There, I work with the executive team on policy and how to steer the ship for a corporation roughly the size of Port Hope. So I have experience in pulling together a plan that incorporates the people factor and sets up a place for growth. We've seen successes here that use this approach, like Cultivate, which embraces our historical agricultural identity and puts money back into local pockets. We need more programming like that brings Port Hope together. I was raised on a farm, and there I learned that hard work means working together. Port Hope can find successes in its future by better leveraging our people's skills to build our better tomorrow. I see a need for more collaboration, technological approaches that can increase access and participation, and engaging with big ideas, led by people. Lastly, responsible leadership means helping make connections and knowing when to get out of the way. Port Hope needs more leaders who will stand up for large ideas that make this town better for all of us here and attracts new citizens. I'll look to create new opportunity for the community to speak for itself and bring changes that are asked for. So why run? Because Port Hope is my home, my community, and my future. And I believe together we can make our home.
Thank you, Mr. Williams.
And our future. Hi, everybody. I'm running because I intend to live here for the next 50 years. I have a vested interest in the long-term future of our community. My kids are going to grow up here, and I want the municipality to stay special and grow responsibly. I've only lived here in Port Hope for a couple of years, but I have a long family history here. I like to think of myself as new but familiar, and I think I can bring a fresh perspective to the council. I have a background in neuroscience, market research, and marketing, helping businesses understand their customers. You are council's customers, and you should expect a council that listens to your needs, pains, and goals and acts on them accordingly. There are 4 key things that I think council is going to have to address in the next 4 years. The first one is planning for the future. We need to update the strategic plan and continue the work the current council has done on building our financial reserves. Number 2 is the ability to live here. Affordable housing is a real problem right now, and that's what's going to help us grow our tax base and workforce, and we need a good long-term care solution as well. Thirdly, we need a vibrant economy and culture. The waterfront is going to be a key part of that over the next term, but we also need to implement the Heritage Registry to protect our history, support our amazing community groups and the work that they're already doing, and unify our wards. Finally, we need open communication from the municipality. I want to make sure that you are getting the information you need in a language you can understand, in a timely fashion, and in an accessible way. While you're wandering around speaking to us tonight, I encourage you to ask us about our backgrounds and our areas of expertise, not just our positions on specific issues. You get to cast several votes, so I want you to carefully consider who you think among all of us would make a good team for council in the next term. I look forward to speaking with each of you tonight, and if you don't get a chance to talk to me, please get in touch with me later. Thanks.
My name is Colleen Haley. First off, I'd like to thank everyone here tonight for coming and listening and being interested in what's happening in Port Hope, because we need to hear from you. We need to know what you want. And I also would like to thank the Chamber for putting tonight on. Another comment I want to make before I start talking about where I see Port Hope going or becoming, I have reviewed every single candidate, and they have dynamic skills. So no matter what the outcome, we are going to have an amazing council. That's my firm belief. First off, I have lived in Port Hope for over 14 years. I have worked in Port Hope for over 14 years. I am very proud of Port Hope, and I'm very proud of all of the people that I come in contact with on a daily basis in Port Hope. I really see our youth, who we've had a pattern of youth leaving our town. They go to university, they come back, they're not able to find a job. We need to have their input. What can we do? We need to build our economy. There has to be factories and their ideas that are going to move forward and build our economy. Affordable housing is huge. It's absolutely huge, and it is a reason my son and his family had to leave this town. And to this day, when my granddaughter drives into town, she says, "Why can't we move back to Port Hope? Why can't we live in Port Hope?" My family loves Port Hope. We love the activities. I want to see more activities. I want to know that our town is accessible. I personally have driven a scooter around town more. Oh my, that was fast. Thank you very much.
When I gave up my job in big business to take apart houses with my bare hands, which is awful dirty work, my mother said to me, "What are you doing now?" And I said to her, "I'm a preservationist." That was the best face I could put on her. She said, "You really think there's that much money in jam?" Preservation is good business. It's good for everybody, especially our town. We have a great town. What's so great about it? Lots of things. We've got fabulous locations for business, a great labor force, a talented labor force, available land, and a town with lots of character. People want to come here for all of those reasons. Our location will never change. The labor force comes and goes. Available land is being used up. Business park is sold out. They've already discovered us. They're on their way. The character of the town is really, I think, our ace. It's what sets us apart from most of the rest of this part of the world. The key part of the character of the town is the enviable and extensive stock of historical buildings, both in the downtown and in town. I think it is, I know it's a council priority, but I think it's something, a priority we have to act on. The preservation of these scarce resources which are non-renewable. Once they're gone, they're gone. And in particular, my concern is for the fate of the historic hospital buildings at 65 Ward Street. These are buildings, we all agree, both sides of the issue, of historical architecture.
Good evening, folks. My name is Bill Lambert. I'm going to take a bit of a risk here tonight. I've been door knocking for the last several days, and so I didn't write anything down. I'm going to give you the spiel that I give people at the door. What they need to know about me, I tell them, is that I'm a Toronto firefighter with 33 years of service. I'm going to be retiring in January, which is going to give me more time to commit to a term on council if you decide to elect. I also am college trained as a fish and wildlife technician, and I worked for 6 years for the Ministry of Natural Resources, so I have a strong environmental bent. My wife and I moved to Port Hope 19 years ago. We were looking for some place within commuting distance of Toronto for my job that had a decent supply of heritage homes, and we fell in love with this town the first time we were here visiting. Really liked the rolling hills and the river and the beach, and these are the sort of things that I want to protect. My basic philosophy, which can apply to any issue that we want to discuss, is that I would like to save the things, preserve, recognize the things about Port Hope that we all love and that we think make it great. I don't want to see development stop. I know we need more residents and we need more businesses, but it has to be done thoughtfully, and they have to fit into our community without destroying our community. That's my basic principle. You can apply that, as I said, to any particular issue. And check out my website. You'll find lots of information on the issues that I've identified. I don't have all the answers. I don't even know all of the questions. But I promise you that I'll be a good listener and I'll be respectful if you put me on council. Thank you.
Thank you. I'd like to thank the Chamber of Commerce for hosting this event. Also, I'd like to thank my re-election committee, my family, my friends, my wife Lori for all their support in the past and during this election. I would also like to thank you, the voters, who have had and continue to have confidence in me. For those who don't know me, I'm a lifelong resident of Port Hope. I've been married for 31 years and I've raised my son, Garnet, in this municipality. I've been a long-time volunteer with many groups within the community, such as a 29-year member with the Port Hope Kinsmen. I'm a Ranch 30 member of the Legion, Port Hope Fair Board, and Big Brothers, just to name a few. I will get right to the point. If I'm re-elected, I'll support the following issues and projects. We need a new senior center that is easily accessible for all. Community safety and accountability with the Port Hope Area Initiative is really, really needed. We also need reasonable taxes no higher than the cost of living or lower. also, during this past summer, we sure could use a splash pad for our youth and our young families. I always will and continue to support local policing. The Port Hope Police in Ward 1 and OPP in Ward 2. And again, affordable housing is monumental in this whole community. We need to have places for young people to grow up and raise their families in our community, and older people that are downsizing and looking for affordable housing. So when you vote, vote for Jeff, please. Have the experience, dedication, and use a common sense approach to solving issues in our community. After the meeting, please come and visit myself and my wife, Lori. I would be happy to discuss any questions or concerns you may have. Thank you.
Good evening. Thanks for coming. Thanks to the Chamber. My motivation for running this upcoming municipal election is first and foremost my abiding passion for Port Hope. I've shown this over the years by my involvement with the community whenever we've been faced with important issues that we've needed to address together. I've invested 25 years building our business locally, St. Lawrence Flowers, along with my sister. I was raised here. I came home to raise our family here. My grandchildren now call Port Hope home, as do my mother. I'm telling you this because whatever challenges or concerns that your family experiences at any of these stages in their lives, my family is also experiencing them. These interests in our community we share. So whether it's the availability of daycare, safe sidewalks to travel on, jobs for our kids, homes they can actually afford to buy, a natural waterfront to enjoy, or a sustainable and growing business community to support, or long-term health care for our parents and ourselves. All of these challenges we meet are as important to me as they are to you. Over the next 4 years, working with our municipality's strategic plan, I will improve and grow our quality of life to ensure that it includes a home and a workplace for ourselves and our future generations. Thanks for your support.
Boy, would I like to be on your doorstep rather than here. I have my speech, but I think I'll just turn it upside down. Port Hope is an entity in itself. It administers itself, it governs itself, it protects itself. Out of this entity, I'm going to tell you a couple of things that I firmly believe in, and it's not a kumbaya speech, but to tell you, number one, Port Hope is a business. We generate revenue, which we are quite good at, and we disperse it, and the services, for the most part, are fair and middle, for sure. But out of this fiscal department, what I would very much like to see, what I would drive for, is a Department of Economics, a Department of Economic Development, and it would do two things for us. One, it would generate employment, because we are going to have people moving into our fair city, and we would like to employ them. I do not want to develop a veteran community. Two, that tax thing that we're very good at, perhaps we can put a cap on that and reduce it. The other thing that I would tell you that I hold very dear in this community is youth. And we have what we develop as a strategic plan, and we all participate in that. And I would like to see a strategic plan that is short, tight, timed properly, and doesn't say ongoing. So if we can do an economic development, if we can engage our citizens in a strategic plan to go forward, I think we will keep Port Hope a very special place. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Peter Angelo, and I'm running for Ward 2 Council to put Ward 2 issues front and center. We need to be at the head of the table, and I intend to be a strong voice for Ward 2 issues moving forward. I've got a real simple platform to my Ward 2 friends and neighbors. If you want better roads, better snow plowing, and better taxes, then vote Angelo, because I will get it done. My wife Jennifer and I have been raising 5 children in Ward 2 for the last 10 years, and we're committed. I'm here with my daughter Isabella, who's helping me tonight. And thank you, Isabella, for showing your commitment to this cause. I am the only one that has any senior level government experience that's running for a Ward 2 seat. I know how the budget system works, and I particularly know how to cut the waste. I'll repeat, to my friends and neighbors in Ward 2, if you want better roads, better snow plowing, and better taxes, then vote Angelo. And just a word of caution to my Ward 1 candidates, please keep your fingers off our transfer station because we're keeping it under my watch. On the campaign trail, there's been 2 issues that keep coming forward to my attention. One, when are we going to get water to Welcome? This is an MTO project that's been going on for years. We need a strong voice to make sure MTO builds that water main to Welcome to get those people that are impacted off of their bad wells. I will be that strong voice. I know MTO Eastern Region, and I know how to get that done. The second issue that comes forward to me on the trail is, why can I not have a severance in Ward 2? I own land that hasn't been arable for 30 years. It's not prime ag. Why can I not have another severance? The issue, folks, is we need official plan amendment changes.
Mr. Bickle.
Good evening, everybody. Glad to see a good turnout. There's people here from all ends of the municipality, whether it's from the region of the Ganderrasset Forest to the lakefront. Glad to see everybody turn out. For those of you who don't know me, my name is John Bickle. I've been a resident in the municipality of Port Hope for 33 years. I've raised 2 sons. My wife and I live in Welcome in an old family home that dates back to the 1800s, which was referred to as Uncle Tom's Cabin by my family. I was first elected to council in 1997. I was proud to serve the residents of Hope Township then, whether it was working on intensive farming, the policing issue, or just general services for the Ward 2 people. If I am elected, I plan on representing everybody, Ward 1 and Ward 2. It doesn't matter which area you're from, we're all in this together. If I am elected, I will see that we keep our transfer site, and every time we spend $10,000 at the Jack Burger Sport Complex for youth, I will see that we spend $10,000 for seniors in Ward 1, Ward 2, where they happen to be. So if you would vote for me and help me put some hope back into the municipality and back into Hope Township, I would appreciate it. Thank you.
I'd like to thank everybody for coming out tonight. It's an important time for all of us, and the fact that you're here shows an interest in your community. I'm going to start by giving out what my commitment to the residents of Ward 2 are, and there are 7. Number 1, I'm going to represent all the residents of Ward 2 at the council table. 2, I will be open to all concerns and comments of everyone. I will attend all council, committee of the whole, budget committee, and special council meetings, as well as regular meetings in their entirety. I will ensure that all the information disseminated is fact-checked and verified before being released. I will respect all individuals in municipal dealings. will strive to build on the foundation and accomplishments already in place. And finally, I will look to the future when dealing with issues that come before council and to listen to all sides before voting. One question I've asked many times is, why run and why run now? Well, I think over the last decade in covering council, first for the Port Hope Ratepayers Association, and for the last 5 years for Northumberland 89.7, I have noticed a lack of interest.
Mr. Moore.
Last but not least, I have over 40 years in business and community work, and during my career, I have created many new initiatives and solved a wide variety of problems. My wife and I currently operate a large horse breeding farm, and I can safely say that I am outstanding in my field. With that background, it probably won't come as a surprise that I will bring common sense and practical solutions to the issues facing Port Hope over the next 4 years. Over the next 4 years, there are important issues that need to be addressed, including affordable housing, waterfront development, the Seniors Activity Center, and much more. But if we are to achieve all these things, we must have a strong municipality that is financially stable, efficiently operated, solid plans for the future, and communicates with the citizens. For example, here are a few of the things that need to be resolved. In the rural ward, we need to repair 103 roads. We need to bring high-speed internet to the rural ward. And for both wards, we need to rein in municipal expenditures and stop the annual increase in taxes. We need to create new jobs for our residents and especially for our young people. And we need to provide clear, concise communications to our community. All these require action, and I think I have an action plan for each one. Here is an example of what you can expect if you're elected. There's been a lot of discussion about the need to foster better relationships between the urban and rural wards. I wholeheartedly agree. And I think the best way to achieve this is for both citizens of both wards to better understand how the other lives, works, and plays. If elected, I will propose that the municipality sponsor a rural invitation program whereby ward residents.
Thank you, candidates. Now we move on to the questions, and let us begin with Mr. Hickey. You have a vision of creating a business plan. This plan includes working with others, including the Chamber, to develop it. Given your experience and your role of leadership, talk to us about some of the action items you would like to see in that plan.
Thank you very much, Robert. I think in terms of working with the Chamber, it's really also working with the businesses within the Chamber. I think that it's important to actually get out and meet the businesses and deal with the businesses individually. And also one of the things I think we desperately need within the community is a registry of businesses. If business is to grow, we need to know exactly what it is we've got here, with whom they associate, what they value, what they sell, or what they buy. So I think in terms of developing a plan, you first have to know the ingredients with which you're working. And I think sometimes that's exactly what we don't know, and that holds us back. So in terms of working with the Chamber, I think it's also responsible to have all the parties involved. You need the Chamber, you need, and potentially the HBIA, you need council, you need citizens. You need to be able to take a look at all avenues of exploration so that at the end of the day, you're coming together with some sort of plan. Unfortunately, what happens too often is there's kind of a germ of an idea, but that doesn't go anywhere. There's maybe kind of a strategy, but it's never developed into tactics. And I think that's what we have to do, and we have to do it by bringing all parties to the table.
Thank you. We have a second question for you.
Okay.
The Chamber of Commerce and the municipality work closely on a number of projects that impact the business sector. What do you believe the role of the Chamber and its members will be in the next term of council related to increasing economic development and business success?
Economic development, as I understand it, fundamentally, is the process of improving economic well-being and quality of life in Port Hope, and creating and retaining jobs and supporting growth of income and tax base. So again, I got to go back to the same thing. You've got to have all the players working together. And if you don't have that, you don't have much of anything. The starting foundation of economic development is making sure that you're working with the businesses that exist here, and that you facilitate their health and their dynamic growth. So it's a matter, again, of making sure that you have all the parties at play. And sometimes we simply don't do that. And that simply means, and I'll go back to what you were just saying, Mr. Walker, and that is that you have to establish a plan. How do all the parties fit together? What is the role of the Chamber? What is the role of staff? What is the role of council? What is the role of the HBIA? But rather than having them in silos, how do we blend them all together to get the best possible result? And that is by absolute communication and absolute collaboration. And that means that you have to continuously work to make that better.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hickey. Mr. Sanderson. The Chamber did not receive responses from you, so we would like to ask you to answer the following question that was asked of each of the candidates. In light of the fact that the municipality does not have staff with a direct economic development portfolio, how will you service this potential gap in services?
That is actually being taken underway as we speak. We are in the process of adding a community development director who will take over planning, economic development, tourism. That completes the structure that I think is effective to run the community. So wait another week or two after the election, right? And we will be on an even keel with the board of directors driven, and the strategic plan will be one of the mandates that the new director will have. And we've gone through the interviews. I think we have that person, and then we restructured our departments because planning is currently with Public Works, not the best home for it. And if you look at economic development, tourism, it's with corporate services. It needs to have a home. It will have a home.
Okay. Second question. The Chamber of Commerce and the municipality work closely on a number of projects that impact the business sector. What do you believe the role of the Chamber and its members will be in the next term of council related to increasing economic development and business success?
Well, quite frankly, that's partly up to the Chamber. The Chamber, I think if the community tells council, we set our goals, right? And I think it's already been said, you believe together, you work together to a common goal with a business plan. I think that all the elements are in place, but quite frankly, they're not working together necessarily. So communication is going to be key. Everybody coming to the table, identifying the key priorities from each group, and then finding out how we can implement it. The Chamber in every community is an integral part of that community, and I think it does a great job here. I think it can do better. I think we can all do better, along with the council. So to me, it's identifying the goals, working together to achieve those goals, working with the Chamber and all the other community involved people to identify how we get there, when we get there, and how much it's going to cost, because everything's going to cost money. And the membership needs to be expanded, and I think a little bit more involvement on all levels. Sure.
Thank you very much.
Can I get a true and false one?
Over the past 4 years, you have helped put the municipality in a much better place financially. What do you believe the next council can do to maintain or improve the situation further while helping local businesses to stabilize and grow with minimal financial impacts to the sector?
Well, there's a couple of words I use. One is basics. When something isn't working, you go back to the basics. You have to go back and reinvent yourself almost. We are living in a time of the internet shopping, and yet our businesses are somewhat operating in a past mode that they've always operated in and not taking advantage of trust. Once a business has your credit card, if you trust a business enough to give them your credit card to perform a transaction, then that can go up one more notch. Now, the business owner can say to you, hey, I can get on the internet. You came in here for a cake, and I know where there's some really nice cake pans and cake display things. And if you allow me, I'll bring them up on the internet, and I'll shop for you. Now, I'm going to charge you 5% or whatever to do that shopping, but I'm going to expand my product base, and you're going to trust me even more to do that. The other thing is service. And I'm going to make it real quick because I'm probably running out of time. But I have a great Dave Somerville story. Dave Somerville, the sports guy in Coburg. In 2001, I owned the McDonald's. The Walmart was coming into town. McDonald's was going to have a Walmart. McDonald's had a Walmart. And I was supposed to speak on behalf of how good a thing it was to bring Walmart in. And I thought, I really don't want to do this because I'm not comfortable with this. So I said, here's why Dave Somerville never has to worry. A friend of mine came up to Dalewood Golf Course. He's a large man, large feet. And he forgot his golf shoes. They couldn't fit him at Dalewood. So phoned Dave Somerville up. And I said, Dave, here's my problem. He set up 3 styles.
You're going to have to go to his table and get something into the story.
I want some of my time to finish that story here.
Your responses reflect a vision of strategic planning, impacting quality of life and engagement in finding solutions. Can you tell us what role you see the Chamber of Commerce as the voice of business and its members playing in future efforts?
Yeah, absolutely. My experience with different chambers of commerce put them at a really great seat at the table. I used to own a restaurant in the historical district in Toronto, so I was able to work with the Chamber of Commerce there, very much like the one that we have here. It's a historical district, so we have to be able to work on those terms. Having a seat at the table is very important because the Chamber is able to come forth and not only help create a skilled workforce, but also help with the business owners, find them opportunities, help them develop their leadership, help them develop their financial acumen, help them develop opportunities for growth. And when we use a Chamber of Commerce in a strategic way and in alignment with where the municipality is, it can actually be a very powerful voice in creating not only the economic development, but also community development.
Mr. Bowman. Your answers suggest that heritage management should be considered leverage rather than a barrier. Can you give us some examples of things you would like to see happening in Port Hope that would help the business sector shift their ability to be more heritage friendly?
Can you repeat the first part because I didn't understand you?
Absolutely. In the answers that you submitted, you continue to suggest that heritage management should be considered a lever, not a barrier.
Okay, thanks. Great. So one of the things that I think that we need to look at kind of globally for Port Hope is to help to leverage our strengths. So one of the obvious strengths is heritage and how heritage can bring in to the town. So one of the things that we need to think carefully about is how to market that as a strength rather than a barrier, which seems to come up in several conversations. How are businesses being held back from the things that they want to do, rather than how do we use heritage to attract people to come in. Heritage is what brings tourists in, and we win them over with the charm of the town. So we need to start leveraging those kinds of things as economic benefits rather than hindrances. Thank you.
Should the Director of Community Development position be put in place? With that question, you stated that you would like to see a group of community experts working with that position to keep economic development moving forward in the community. Who do you believe should be at the table, and what do you believe their primary objective should be?
One of the things that I really believe is that as council, we're not experts, we are facilitators. And I'm really excited to hear about the community development position, because I think that's a great step forward in building our economic development portfolio. But we also have lots of people here at Port Hope who are very passionate, very intelligent, very talented. And I think we need to make more use of those people. And I would like to see that community development director work with people in the community to, again, understand the needs and goals and pains of our entire community, and how that both that position and that department, but also council, can address those issues. With regards to who specifically should be on that, citizen panel, I think it's important that we look at, our heritage. We have lots of people here who know lots of things about heritage, and would be great people to be involved in that. We have lots of very strong people with economic development backgrounds, people with business development backgrounds. I don't know that I'm qualified to pick a specific person, but again, we have a wonderful community of talented people, and I think we would have no problem finding the right people who could facilitate those important areas that are all part of that community development portfolio. Thanks.
Thank you. When asked about what could be done to support businesses outside of the core, you clearly indicated it is good that we have options, but you did not indicate what you believe could be done to support those other businesses. Can you talk to us about potential ideas you have for being inclusive of all businesses throughout the municipality to support success?
Thank you. I believe we have a lot of talent in the youth and in our town alone. I think that we need to look for every grant, every opportunity out there from the government to make sure that these people are able to start a small business or medium-sized business, and that we don't put roadblocks up to prevent that from happening. And I think it's very important that we recognize the people in our community, because we have a lot of talented people in our community. Many of our youth are extremely talented, and no matter what field they're interested in, I want to see our young adults move back to Port Hope. And of course, roadblocks, we need to have affordable housing for young families. We need to have my next topic is going to be accessibility. We need to make sure that the seniors are also looked after, and that we don't forget them in everything that we do in our town. Thank you.
Thank you. Business community. However, there are businesses throughout the municipality, including but not limited to home-based and agribusinesses. What do you believe the municipality can do to support businesses throughout the entire community and not just in the downtown core?
This sounds like a good opportunity to finish that story about the jam. The downtown core, of course, is what most people interface when they come to town, what makes the greatest impression. It certainly is a wealth of talent distributed throughout the municipality and probably disproportionately represented in the rural areas. The things that the town can control include zoning regulations and other planning tools that affect land use. Land use policies that are favorable to the development of home-based or other small businesses, I think is one of the best things that the town can do in terms of assisting these businesses. And of course, everything else that the town does, from keeping the roads in good shape and keeping them plowed, and providing staff, such as the development officer we've been talking about, that they also contribute. Thank you.
Mr. Lambert, you mentioned high taxes resulting in high rents or costs of ownership as a huge concern for the business sector. You also said that they face many challenges. Can you please elaborate on some of these other issues facing the sector and your plan or vision for easing them?
The high tax issue obviously contributes to high rents and high cost of owning, which is a disincentive to any business to establish itself or to grow. As far as other challenges that businesses face, if we're talking about Ward 2, they're facing restrictions on expansion because of the protectionist policies for farmland. When you have cases where you have farmland that is not high quality, that is not actively being farmed, and yet somebody who runs a home-based small business in Ward 2, they still have their application to expand their business repeatedly rejected. If you're talking in Ward 1, the problems are perhaps smaller. There are things like inadequate parking and problems with accessibility and modernizing historic buildings so that they become accessible without destroying the facade of the building. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Lees, you've indicated that the biggest barrier for the business sector is too much red tape and process for businesses. As a more seasoned councillor, what will you do differently or directly to ensure that some of this is reduced or eliminated to make it easier for the business sector to open or expand in this community?
Thank you. First of all, I think we need to go to the businesses themselves. You know, with technology and all these things, it's great, but I think you get a true feeling from the businesses when you go to them. Go into their place of business and see what they really need. Talk to them face to face. I think that's most important. I think we miss a lot of that through technology and emails, and you really miss the true sense of what they need. And I think we need to also get the groups together, more community consultation, call up the businesses and ask them, you know, come together as a group, do a brainstorming session of what you all need, and come forth and give us the suggestions how we can help you. We focus a lot on bringing new businesses here, but I think, again, retaining businesses is very important, and helping them out, I think, is key to everyone. The more they succeed, the more we succeed. We have a lot of businesses in this community that have been here 30 plus years, so use them as a mentoring program to new businesses coming in. Tell them how to run their businesses better to fit this community that will work for everybody. I think if we do that and work together better as a group and call them all together, I think we'll succeed in the future. Thank you.
Ms. Meadows. It is clear in your responses that you believe quality of life is key to economic development and community growth. Housing and waterfront are two obvious quality of life issues in the Port Hope area. However, there are others that impact business development. Can you identify one or two other quality of life issues that council can work with the business community to address?
Certainly. I agree with Bob. As a beginning, I think everything that needs to be addressed with business can be done through collaboration and communication, getting groups together with the HBIA, the Chamber of Commerce, and addressing these issues. And those that I mentioned, of course, were festivals such as Cultivate. All these qualities of like to create our economic development and make us attractive for business to come here. We have active service clubs. We have a great HVIA and chamber. There is the salmon run, the trout that come in. There's many attractive things that happen in our town that addresses when people come here, then they see how vibrant it is. They want to stay here. They want to live here. They hopefully will want to open a business here. And that's how we grow. And I think we're actually at a great point of growth right now because there are very few open business or open storefronts downtown. We have a business park ready to start rolling out and progressing. Everything's sold and ready to be built. I think the council that we've had, we're very fortunate to have built these strengths for us to grow with.
Thank you very much. The community is well aware that affordable housing is an issue.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you clearly.
Okay. The community is well aware that affordable housing is an issue. Tell us other factors that you would address in your council role that could help provide meaningful employment and opportunities for business tax growth that you believe the community needs.
Well, I think there's two questions there. One is affordable housing, which is something that we have to address, but we have to be very careful addressing. The other thing is that if we address the affordable housing and begin it and tentatively and begin to grow with it, we have to grow it in lockstep with business, with industry, with commerce. Because these people who are here, I would like to have them stay here and grow here and not going into Oshawa or to Toronto to work. So the community housing thing is important, but it's important in lockstep with developing industry here in Port Hope.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It is evident in your answers that you can identify the issues in both Ward 1 and Ward 2. Can you identify for us the biggest issues facing Ward 2 businesses and how you envision addressing that issue?
Thank you for the question. It's a great question. I've had an opportunity in the last month or so to participate in an economic development initiative which was sponsored by the Ministry of Culture and Tourism, and that was exploring how we can improve and expand upon locally grown food assets here within Port Hope. So the opportunity was to look at a sister city, which in this particular case was Napanee. My family and I went to Napanee along with a group of other people as sort of secret shoppers. And we explored what they were doing there to market and improve the locally grown food aspects. And we need to bring those great ideas back here to Port Hope. You know, one of the great benefits of the Chamber is that they can outreach to our agribusinesses, our farmers, and really drill down what it is that they need to make a stronger local food component here within Port Hope. We certainly have our festival, which is continuing to get strong every year. Some people term it food to fork, that type of thing. So I think overall, what we need to do is to reach out through Chamber to a strong economic department and bring those tangible issues forward so that, again, we can be competitive within our agricultural industry and bring that locally grown aspect here in front of the businesses.
Thank you. As a Ward 2 candidate, we understand you believe in helping the farmers and growing agribusiness. What opportunities does rural Port Hope have within it that urban Port Hope should know more about in order to strengthen economic development throughout the community?
Ward 2 is mainly made up of farmers. Some farmers in Ward 2 spend up to and over $1 million every spring to put their crops in the ground. That is spread out to other businesses, whether it's buying seed, fertilizer, chemicals, fuel, equipment, parts. The farming industry puts a lot of money into the local economy. We need to keep our farmland intact. When we amalgamated, Hope Township had almost 4,000 acres of industrial commercial land at its spectrum. That land is still sitting there doing nothing. We need to spend more effort, more time to attract businesses into some of this land we have sitting empty and leave the farmland we have intact for the farmers to thrive and grow.
Thank you. Mr. Baldwin. You have made statements that recognize the needs of both Ward 1 and Ward 2 businesses. Tell us some of your visions for how we can increase communication between the two wards for the betterment of the shop local approach.
That question actually sounds easier to answer than it really is. I've lived in the municipality now for 31 years. And one of the things that I still find very interesting is when you're looking for goods and services in the community, there is no place to really find a listing. And I think this is one area that both wards need to have developed, and that is to develop a listing that you can easily access when you are looking for a specific product or service. And what happens is, with that listing not being available to everyone at the moment, you tend to say, well, I know so-and-so in Oshawa, or I know so-and-so in Peterborough, and that's where you end up going. Instead of staying local, we have to get something where our local people can find the information, and where out-of-towners actually can find the information and come into Port Hope to get their business or do their business here.
Thank you very much. Mr. Morgan. You indicated that the biggest issue facing businesses is that council and staff are not seen as friendly. You did not indicate how you plan to address these issues. Can you tell us what your plan would include to make this disappear?
What is required in Port Hope is a separate organization devoted to job creation. Talk about economic development, but we really need job creation. In Canada, 60% or more of new jobs are created by small businesses. In Port Hope, we do not have any idea who these small businesses are. We have the Chamber of Commerce, who has its members and is a great cheerleader and supporter of business. But what we need is an organization run by businessmen who can facilitate the growth of employment in existing small businesses, both in the rural and the urban areas.
Thank you very much. Well, this concludes the formal part of this evening, and I would like to thank all the candidates for their answers and for their speeches. On behalf of the Port Hope Chamber of Commerce, I wish to thank the candidates for completing the formal portion of this event. You can all relax now, take a deep breath, because the really hard part begins now. I would like to thank you for taking the time to listen to these questions and answers, and we hope that you can cast your vote by October 22nd. We will now move on to the informal portion of tonight. So we will take a few moments to let the candidates get to their respective tables, and you are free to speak to whomever you would like, and this will last until 9 p.m. On behalf of the organizers, I wish to thank everyone involved. Please have a great evening.